There is a voice that whispers in the dark before dawn cracks the silence of the sky. It is not loud, it is not soft either. It is steady, the murmur of blood moving through veins, the throb of a heart that remembers what it was made for. It says, "Rise." Not because the world demands it, not because others expect it, but because the soul, restless and unquiet, was never meant to lie still forever. You know this voice, it comes when the alarm shatters sleep, when the chill of morning air presses against your skin like an old challenge. It comes when the bed is warm but the dream is shallow. It comes when yesterday's fatigue tries to bargain with today's promise. And the voice says again, "Rise, move, begin." This is not a sudden flight, this is not wings sprouting overnight, this is the long pull of muscle against gravity, the slow awakening of bones that remember their strength. This is the ancient covenant between breath and body, that if you give yourself to motion, motion will give you back your life. The body is a cathedral built on effort, stone by stone, breath by breath. Its pillars are not given, they are earned. Every drop of sweat is mortar, every repetition a brick laid into the architecture of endurance. To move is to honor this temple, to stretch, to bend, to lift. It is a hymn sung not with words but with the language of muscle and will. The treadmill hums, the weights clang against the floor, the pavement greets each step with the blunt honesty of resistance. And still, you move, not because it is easy, not because it is glamorous, but because discipline is a truth deeper than comfort. Discipline whispers, your strength is not what you claim but what you prove, and so you prove it. One push-up at a time, one lap around the track, 1 mile, 1 breath. This is not punishment, it is liberation. It is the breaking of chains woven from idleness and doubt. It is the rewriting of the body's story from passive to active, from fragile to unbreakable. The body lifts the weight, but the mind carries the burden. The run begins with legs, but it ends with belief. For flesh can go only so far and then the will must take the lead. Doubt is a sly companion. It waits at the edge of effort, whispering, "You are too tired. You have done enough. Why bother?" It comes dressed in reason, in the softness of excuses, in the warmth of surrender. It sounds like mercy, but it is chains in disguise. To fight this voice is the truest discipline. For every battle in the gym, every war on the road, is first fought in the mind. The body says, "I cannot." The will replies, "One more." The lungs scream, "Enough." The heart says, "Go on." And you do. Not because it is painless, but because the pain is proof that you are not standing still. Positivity is not a smile painted over struggle. It is the fire that refuses to go out in the rain of hardship. It is the conviction that every setback is a stone laid on the road forward, not a wall to turn you back. The world is quiet at night. The lamps are dim, the houses folded into silence, dreams curling like smoke above resting heads. Companions lie in their blankets, eyes closed, trusting that tomorrow will come without their effort. And for them perhaps, it will. But for you, you have chosen a harder road. While they sleep, you lace your shoes. While they sleep, you tie your wrists, grip the bar, bend your knees and lift. The echo of your motion is the hymn of the unseen, the clatter of weights, the drum of footsteps on empty pavement, the steady rhythm of breath. These are your midnight psalms. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. No wings carried them upward, no miracle dropped them at the summit. They climbed, slow, patient, inch by inch while others dreamed in soft beds. It is not bitterness that drives you. You do not resent those who rest, but you know, time is a treasure that does not stay in the hand. And every hour spent in slumber is an hour lost to growth. So you rise in the darkness, you train when no one applauds, you sweat in the silence where only your own heartbeat cheers you forward. And though exhaustion wraps its arms around your shoulders, though the night feels endless, though the stars seem indifferent, still you climb, because you have seen what happens to those who wait. Dreams rust, ambition fades, the body softens, the will thins until they become shadows of what they once hoped to be. You refuse this fate, so while companions sleep, you build. You hammer muscle out of fatigue, you carve resilience from pain, you lay brick upon brick on the fortress of your will, and when morning comes, you do not boast, you do not need to. The dawn itself reveals your work, the body stronger, the spirit brighter, the mind sharper. Those who slept wake refreshed, but you wake transformed. And transformation is the true rest, the rest that comes from knowing you are becoming the person you were meant to be. So let them sleep, let them dream in stillness. You will dream in motion. You will dream in sweat. You will dream in the rhythm of footsteps and the song of iron. And when you reach the summit, breathless, unbowed, you will know, it was not sudden flight, but the long night's labor that carried you here. At first, the climb feels endless, each step swallowed by the fog, each effort disappearing into silence. You wonder if the summit is real, if all this struggle is only circles on a treadmill, loops on a track, repetitions without reward. But then, the clouds thin, the air sharpens, your lungs fill with something new, something lighter, something that feels like freedom. You see the change not in a day, but in the long mirror of time. The stairs you once dreaded become easy. The bags you once strained to lift now rise with casual strength. Your laughter carries farther, your shoulders stand straighter. The world somehow feels less heavy. These are the heights, not only medals or records, not only the applause of strangers, but the quiet victories etched into daily life. The height of tying your shoes and running farther than last week. The height of waking refreshed because your body knows rest again. The height of looking in the mirror and seeing not perfection but progress. The undeniable proof that discipline leaves marks as real as scars. And beyond the body, there is the spirit. For fitness is not only in muscle and bone but in the flame of persistence. The mind that once faltered now holds steady. The voice that once whispered quit is drowned out by the roar of momentum. The heights are health, yes, but they are also joy. They are the laughter that comes easier, the energy that carries you through the long day, the resilience that keeps you standing when storms arrive. Others will see only the surface, the shape of your body, the curve of your strength. But you will know the deeper truth, that every drop of sweat was a vote for your future. Every repetition a declaration of self-respect. The heights are not a finish line, they are horizons, receding, inviting, always promising more. For once you reach one summit you see another, and instead of despair you feel wonder. Instead of fatigue you feel hunger. This is the gift of the climb, not to arrive but to continue. To know that you can. To believe that you will. The heights ahead are waiting. They gleam not with sudden light but with steady fire. The fire you kindled when others slept. The fire you fed with discipline, with sweat, with relentless belief. Stand here, look out and see the horizon stretch wide. You are not done. You are not finished. You are only higher. And from here, there is still more sky to claim. The climb does not end. It cannot end. For life itself is ascent, a mountain with no single peak, only ridges rising into ridges, horizons leaning into further skies. You learn at last that the goal was never only a stronger body, a quicker pace, a sharper form. The goal was to build within you a spirit that does not break. To exercise is to remember. Motion is existence. Effort is freedom. Discipline is love. Each step is a covenant with the self. Each drop of sweat a promise you keep. The world will tempt you back to stillness. It will offer soft chairs, easy escapes, screens that glow with distractions. But you have seen too much to yield. You have tasted the air of higher ground and it has sharpened your hunger. So you rise again, not once, not twice, but every day, until rising itself is the language of your soul. And in this rising you leave behind more than footprints, you leave a trail for others. The child who watches you stretch at dawn, the friend who notices your steady stride, the stranger who feels your presence like a spark, they too will rise because your climb has shown them it is possible. This is the legacy of effort. Not trophies on a shelf, but lives touched, lives awakened, lives inspired to take the first step. You will grow older, the body will change, muscles will soften, the mirror will tell different stories. But the spirit you have built, unyielding, disciplined, rooted in struggle, bright with positivity, that will not fade. For long after the last race is run, the last weight lifted, the last sweat dropped on the floor, your will remains, and the will is eternal. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. You know this now, in the marrow of your bones. For you too have climbed at night, toiling while others slept, building strength in silence, hope in darkness, faith in the steady rhythm of work. And you will climb still, through mornings yet to dawn, through trials yet to come, through valleys and storms and new horizons waiting. This is the eternal climb. Not a punishment, not a burden, but a gift. To know that each day is another chance to rise, to move, to grow, to become. So breathe deep, tie your shoes, stand tall. The mountain waits. And you, unshaken, are already on your way.